story. So we have moved out of our house. My divorce is now final. We moved into my mother's house, stayed there 3 years when it was only supposed to be 1. Moved into our lovely apartment that we are in now. And our new life has begun. But now that our new life has begun, I think it's time for me to start dating. So I went ahead and joined, or I gave a try to online dating. Online dating is a very, very interesting, it's interesting, we'll just put it like that. When I first started, I went on this site called blackpeoplemeet.com. I wonder if it still exists. Blackpeoplemeet.com, and it was, to me, supposed to be a website for black people meeting black people, right? Not that I have anything against dating outside of my race, but it's my prerogative, and I wanted to continue to date black people. But there were other people on that site that weren't black, which again is fine. So if you're looking for a black person to date, I guess going to blackpeoplemeet.com is a good place to go. But anyway, throughout the journey, I did blackpeoplemeet.com. I did Plenty of Fish, and I did, there was one other one that I did. I don't remember right now what it was, but I went on some very interesting dates, a lot of just one and done dates. I'm not the type of person to casually date, so I don't know how to date more than one person at a time. It's just not in my makeup. It's just not something that I care to do. My memory is not good as it is right now, so I can't even continue to think like, oh no, that was this person, or no, that was that person. Like, you got how many brothers? I thought you only had, I can't. So it's one person at a time. That's all I can do. So I've met at some coffee shops. I've met at a park. But most of my first dates or only meetings were done in a Starbucks. I don't drink coffee, but I'm probably one of many who do not, but most of the time it was in a Starbucks. And then just casual conversation, but it just wasn't something that ever really stuck. A lot of conversation, people are really just looking for, somebody to, slam bam, thank you ma'am. You get a lot of interesting photos when you're dating online. I got a lot of pics of some private areas that you don't know me. If you run for president, I could stick all of this all up on everybody's social media. So why are you just randomly sending pics to somebody you've never met in person, ever? And back then, video calling wasn't really popular, so you are literally talking to me on the telephone, so I am a voice. Why are you trying to send me pics of your privates? That to me means you ain't wrapped too tight up here. But I did end up finding someone who lived in my neighborhood, and we dated for about 7-8 months. It really didn't go on. It wasn't something that I knew would last long term, but it was fun. It was something to do. I think we both knew that it wasn't something that was gonna really go anywhere, but you free on Saturday, I'm free on Saturday, let's grab a movie, grab some dinner. So I think that was just two people just wanting the companionship of somebody of the opposite sex. And that's pretty much how it went down. And it wasn't, and it was cool. And then it just kind of fizzled. It wasn't anything serious. So once that fizzled, it was kind of just like, I'm just not ready for dating. It's not something that I was wanting to do again with being a mother. I chose to put her needs and wants, like I've said in my previous videos, ahead of everybody else. So I knew I wasn't able to give someone what they deserved. So why put it out there? So I was lonely, but you learn how to adjust, and you know, the years went by and that was that. But online dating, I know a couple people who have done online dating. They have found their significant other, they have married, and they are, I won't say living happily, but they're still married. Someone I know, she met her husband on Plenty of Fish, and they've been married now for at least 5 years, because we worked together about 5-6 years ago. And I know they're still married because I follow her on social media, so she's good. I have another girlfriend from the church who met her husband online. They've been married a little over a year now. So I'm not going to knock it. It's just not something that I prayerfully will have to ever do again. And it's something that you have to continuously do. So the apps that the blackpeoplemeet.com and Plenty of Fish, and I'm sure there are others, you know, they're all on an app. So it's an app that you want to truly like kind of keep up with. You got to check in, and then it messes with your psyche too, because if nobody responds back to you, you're like, dang, my profile must not be right, and you know, my pics must not be good. So it was a whole, it's a very, very interesting process. And then you get a lot of people that are online that don't want to say much. So, and I was always, you know, I was taught, and what I was learning as I was getting older, that the man should always chase you. Don't chase the man. So if I'm saying hi to you and all you say back is hello, obviously that ain't the one. Or it's interesting, but you have to set up your profile right, and you want to make sure you put out the right words because you don't want to sound desperate. And then there's this terminology, legally just separated, right? Separated can mean a lot of things. Did you separate yesterday? Have you been separated a year? In that separation though, do you have small children? So are you constantly with the mother of your children, or mothers of your children? Like what's that all about? What kind of baggage do you come with? It's interesting, and people used to always be like, how do you do that? You don't know if you coming across a psycho. You don't know if you come across a psycho that you meet on a street corner, or that you were properly introduced to by another person. Hence the reason why most of us are divorced. So it's really just, it's a whole another kind of world. It really, really is, online dating. But I don't have any fabulous stories to tell of online dating, like nothing. I don't have any wild stories. I did meet this one guy, but he wasn't on online dating. He was somebody that I met on the street, and he was a military vet, I think. That's what he told me. And he had been, he was unfortunately also on disability from a job that he was working. So he had a problem with his foot. So he walked with sort of like a limp, kind of sort of, something in his ankle. And he needed to have surgery on it, but he was waiting for, he kept telling me that he was waiting for the military to approve his surgery, or then to approve being on the disability or something like that, whatever was happening. So he kept going on and on about it. And finally one day I asked, well, how long have you been out? How long have you been out in the military? To tell me how long you've been waiting for this approval. He had been out of the military for about 18 years. And he has still been waiting for approval. To get approval for this disability status or something. And because of the status, they weren't approving his surgery. So in my mind, it was like, because they're not giving it to you. It don't take 18 years, but you keep hope alive. But you keep hope alive over there. I'm out. It was like, what? Yeah, he was stuck on this. And once I get this disability, that takes me to a whole nother grade that's going to let me get all this money, and I'm going to give you the world. You can't give me a bus token today. I don't care about the world in a few years. I can't. I live in today. I can't live in the future. And that was that. So that was a weird story, a weird date, a weird guy. But I wasn't. I didn't meet him online. I met him on the street. I don't think I have any other crazy stories. I probably should have consulted with one of my cousins and a girlfriend of mine to recall if there's any crazy stories I've ever given. But then it was a matter of, so we'll even just say this is beyond just online dating, when just talking to different guys and different groups of people and stuff about, you know, how to get back out there, how do you put yourself out there, how do you whatever. And then it was like, well, you know, you got to put on the makeup, and you got to put on the hair, and you got to have on the nails, and you got to make sure you dress this kind of way. I don't dress that kind of way every day. So I need somebody to fall for me in my natural state. As you've seen from most of these videos, I don't wear a lot of makeup. I never have. I don't walk around in heels all day long. I very rarely wear heels. The career that I'm in right now doesn't require heels, so I don't dress up a lot. I'm a lady, but I don't dress like a lady every day. So I don't want somebody to fall for me seeing me in a state that I'm not in, because I don't want you to expect me to be in the lashes and the hair and the makeup and the this and the that and the heels and all of that every single day, because I'm not the one. And that's what a lot of the women in my group, like a lot of my friends talk about. Like, no, I'm not going through all of that. Now, not knocking those who actually do it. If you're into the hair and the lashes and all of that every day, you go for yours. I'm just not the one that cares to do it. This right here with these braids, this is a stretch. This is the first time I've ever had my hair in this many braids. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. And I just wanted to try it. And I don't know if I'll do it again. It's just a lot. When I take it out of this ponytail, it's a lot. And it's hot. But anyway, I don't want to meet somebody like that. Or if I do, you need to then be okay with when you see me the next day and I don't have all that on, that it's not going to happen. So if you can't like me with the goodness in the form and fashion that the Lord made me, it's not gonna work. So I've had those kinds of conversations You need to meet somebody in the grocery store. I'm in the grocery store every other week. Again, if he ain't walked up on me, I ain't walked up on him. And it was an interesting, it's just interesting conversations that you have with people when it comes to dating, because everybody has a theory. Everybody has a golden rule. But mine was, I'm just going to put it in the hands of the Lord. And if the Lord sees fit, prayerfully he will send me the king that he has been working on for my almost 50 years of life. And when God sees that the time is right, he'll make it happen. So I gave all of that up. And I'd say I had gone about I met this guy online. He was a DJ. He was a DJ in a club. Obviously, he was part-time DJ. He had a full-time job, Monday through Friday, but on the weekends, he was a DJ. And he invited me to come to the club one night to obviously sit with him in the thing. I'd never gone to a club before by myself, ever. And this particular night, it was a Thursday. I think it was like a Thursday night. Random. He's like, I'm doing this, side thing at this small little hole in the wall type club. You should come through. I called everybody I knew that day to ask them if they were available. Nobody was available. And I didn't want to not go because I was invited. So I don't remember who I called. If I called my girlfriend, if I called my cousin, and I was like, I gotta go. Like, I want to go. I just want to see. Like, I'm going to be this little teeny bopper sitting in the DJ booth. Hanging out with this guy in the club. So I got dressed, went over to this club, and there were like 6 people in the whole club. Why? Probably because it was a Thursday. But anyway, got there, and so I didn't feel bad because I thought it would be crowded. I'd be the only person there by myself. But yeah, it didn't matter because it was only 6 people, and like I swear, maybe 10. I might give you 15. But it was literally nobody on the dance floor. There were people at the bar, and then they had some pool tables over here. And I sat with the guy in the DJ booth. So yeah, that was funny. That went nowhere. I mean, I think we probably talked for like a couple months, but that went nowhere. The music was good though. I did jam that night, but yeah, that was that. So with that, I would say then I was single. I just decided like the online thing just wasn't for me. It was just too much back and forth, too much conversation. Nobody was really biting, or they want you to bite first, the female to bite first. I wasn't for it, so I just left it alone. So, I don't know. I would say I probably was not doing anything for about a year. Yeah, probably for about a year. I was just like, I'm gonna just let it happen. I'm just gonna put it in prayer, and prayerfully God just, send somebody's my way when he's ready, or when he thinks I'm ready. And it happened. So I'm currently dating someone. It's been about a year and a little over a year and a half. And it was worth the wait. It was worth the journey. It was worth the crazy. And it was worth me raising my daughter, and then raising her selfishly and putting my needs behind hers. And I feel that God, sent me the king that I had put in prayer and asked for. So wish me luck on that. And I just thank God for him every day. And I'm enjoying the ride. And prayerfully it will be a long ride. And that's all I'm going to say on that. So thanks for visiting. If you have any crazy online stories, online dating stories, please share them below. And even if it's not online dating stories, just a dating story period, just anything crazy, not anything long term, just like if you went on one date and it was just crazy, or some of the experiences that you've had, please share them with me. I would really appreciate it, and we'll always love the giggle. But thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell when you subscribe so that you will be notified of all updates and uploads. And thanks for visiting. Bye.